All right. Sir, is your name James Bogus?
Bogus, yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. We're on the record now in Reno versus Bogus. This is case number 1717094. 1 second. All right. I wasn't on the record. Again, this is Reno versus Bogus, case number 1717094. DM. The record should reflect Mr. Bogus is present today by video from the Otsego County Jail. We have Ms. Krause here present on behalf of friend of the court. Mr. Brown as public defender here for purposes of arraignment today present, all parties by Zoom. Mr. Bogus, you're before the court back in April of 2024. It was alleged that you failed to comply with payment of child support pursuant to an order that was entered on March 12th of 2024. As a result of that, you were ordered to appear before this court on April 10th of 2024. You were ordered to appear before the court on April 15th. You failed to do that. The court issued a bench warrant, and that's why you're before the court today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Krause, can you give me the current status of this file?
Yes, the defendant support obligation is $262 and the balance is $8,959.07. The last payment that was received was from September of 2023 in the amount of $62.94.
Okay, and is the friend of the court seeking a finding of contempt for failure to pay?
Yes. To further address contempt, he's not exercised due diligence and failed to comply with the court orders between March 12th of 2024 through January 21st of this year.
All right, and would this be a first or subsequent finding of contempt?
I believe reviewing the record, it would be the first.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Bogus, you do have the right to have a hearing as to whether you should be found in contempt for failing to pay child support during the periods indicated by Ms. Krause. If you are found guilty of contempt, the maximum penalty that the court could impose would be up to 45 days in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
As of the date of this bench warrant, at that point, the bond was set the amount of $2,000. I believe that's a sixth. My copy isn't great. $2,600. So that's your current bond. So your options today, Mr. Bogus, are either to again take responsibility for failing to pay child support or to request a hearing. Do you know how you'd like to proceed?
Well, I'm going to take liability. I'm going to plead guilty. But I did send a writ over to you guys. I just did 90 days child support for Ogama County. And I wanted that taken into consideration if I could.
Okay. All right. First of all, can you raise your right hand?
Yep.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. You can lower your hand. So Mr. Bogus, you're not contesting that you failed to make any payments as indicated by Ms. Krause?
No, and last time I was in jail when I made that payment arrangements, I broke my leg a few days later, and I can prove that to the courts as well.
Okay. All right, but between that time and now, you haven't made any efforts to make any payments on your account?
And I've been in jail for 90 days. I've been, as well.
All right. Well, this was last April.
I haven't worked since last April.
Did you contact the friend of the court office? And
I did. And told them I broke my leg.
Okay. Have you contacted them since you broke your leg to inform them that you haven't been able to work and to seek any kind of abatement or?
No, I haven't, and that's my mistake.
All right. Okay.
But when I was in Otsego County for 90 days, I did send a writ over to the courts, and I got word back saying you guys ain't holding me on that or something like that, and that's it. I don't know if you got a copy of that.
I don't have a copy of that in front of me. When were you lodged in Ogama County?
I come from Ogama County the 27th to here, or the 21st here. I just did 90 days and for child support. I'd like that
Okay.
current if I could.
You what?
Like that ran concurrent if I could with the time I spent. And I do have a job and I need the paperwork for garnishment of my wages.
Okay. All right. Based on your testimony here, the court finds that you did fail to exercise due diligence. So I do find that you're in contempt. In terms of the penalty for that, Ms. Kraus is the friend of the court asking the court to impose a sentence at this time, or how do you want to proceed?
Yes, to impose a sentence.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Bogus, anything that you want to say about that?
Just I hope you guys can run it concurrent with the time I've already spent in jail, and you guys can start pulling 50% of my paycheck. As soon as I get out and get back to work and I can start making payments.
All right. Well, I mean, there wouldn't be any reason for the court to run it concurrent. These are separate cases, and whatever you've been doing or not doing in your Ogama County case really is completely unrelated to this case. So the court is I'm gonna impose the 45 days. I'm gonna order that you serve 15 days of that up front. So 2 weeks up front.
Okay.
Court will hold the remaining time in abeyance.
Okay.
You are released from the Otsego County Jail. Court's going to require that you immediately contact the Otsego County friend of the court so that you can update them with your current status in terms of employment, address, and so forth.
Okay.
And Ms. Kraus, will you prepare an order reflecting that ruling of the court today?
Yes.
Your Honor, I do have a question on Mr. Bogus's behalf.
Sure.
He has been sitting there for a couple of days. Will he get credit for the time he has sat there after he was arrested on this matter?
Yeah, absolutely. He's entitled to credit for the time that he's been in the Otsego County Jail. So, Mr. Bogus or Ms. Kraus, you contact the jail and get them, the time that he's been there, because he is entitled to that.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be 14 days, Mr. Bogus, minus the time that you've been in Otsego.
Okay.
All right. Okay, thank you. That's all for this hearing today. You're free to disconnect at this time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.